What up? So, I want you guys to focus on this number, 2. For those of you who can't count fingers. 2. Okay? Seems like a very small number. You have 100 people in a room and 2 leave. You still have 98 in the room. But when you add a percentage behind it, sure, it's still the same. You have 100 people in a room and 2% of the people leave. Of course, 2 people are leaving. But when you add more people to the room, say 200, well, that's 4 leaving. Now put that in terms of COVID. 2% of people who contract COVID will die of it, according to science. What does that mean? Well, if my math is correct, that'd be 6 million dead. 6 million. 6 million Americans dead. In what, 2 years? So, explain to me how how anybody can put the word only 2% will die from COVID. I mean, that just makes you sound like an uncaring, heartless person, doesn't it? I mean, come on. There were what, 250 million people 10 years ago? Only 3,000 died September 11th. I mean, that's nothing. But see, I'm a cynical jerk for saying that, right? At least I would be if I meant it. But we say, well, only 2% will die, which is 6 million people, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's nothing. Explain to me how that's right. But not only that, but here's the thing. This whole conspiracy about, well, wearing a mask is worse for you. No, it isn't. But you're breathing in the same bacteria that you've had in your mouth and on your breath and everything for however long you've had it. You're breathing in your own illness, apparently, is what they're saying. But you already have your illness, so what are you really breathing in? That's just another excuse for people to be comfortable because masks are not comfortable for them. Because people do not like the things that are different. They like to do things that are routine to them, and any type of discomfort to them, including wearing a mask for a few minutes a day, is just horrible. And you can't say anything about that. Really, it makes sense because doctors, surgeons do this all the time. I had a 19-hour surgery, and then I had a 9-hour surgery. And guess what? My doctors had their masks on for hours. They are fine. Perfectly fine, as far as I know. They made it through the procedure perfectly fine. So yeah, there goes that argument. Bye bye. Out the window. Peace. Do it as you will. But then there's the argument of some people who were like, well, somebody I know got the vaccine and they died of COVID. Okay. I'm seriously sorry for the loss of those people who died of COVID after receiving the vaccine. Seriously. It's true. It's horrible. But the thing is, Tupac was shot 5 times once and survived. 50 Cent, I think, 9 times. Once in the face and lived. Sometimes these things that are meant to kill, bullets, knives, people have been stabbed and survived. People have been shot in the head and survived. Small miracles. Unfortunately, these cases of vaccinated people dying of COVID are anomalies. The small percentage, the small number. And I know it contradicts my 2%, but at the same time, we know that COVID can and will kill you. What we don't know is the efficient way that these vaccinations will affect the individual. We don't know what happens. We don't know the factors that cause these vaccinations to fail in certain individuals. However, what we do know is that the number of people who are positively affected by the vaccines are substantially higher than the people who are negatively affected by the vaccines. And the thing about people now is that they focus on the negative more than anything else. It's like, oh God, one person died after taking the vaccine. I'm not taking the vaccine. It kills people. It killed a person. Whereas COVID is over there killing 10. But hey, I mean, people want to face these things as if they know more than these doctors. And these doctors are the ones educated. And they're like, well, they're trusting science. Well, yeah. Of course they're going to trust science. What are they going to trust in? God? I'm sorry, but God hasn't really come down and told doctors what to do just yet. And if he had, everything would be cured. But God gave knowledge. For those of you who believe in God, God gave the ability to learn how to deal with these things to doctors, and the imperfect doctors that exist right now are doing the best that they can. And what they can do and have done is actually, for the most part, beneficial to the people who are complying with what they are saying. This is not a tool for manipulation. This is not a tool to thin out the population. This is an actual pandemic that happened because a virus mutated and people are catching it and are being irresponsible and still not following guidelines that keep them safe. That's why other countries are doing better than America is, because they're following guidelines that America just sneers at, because Americans think that they are self-righteous and can do what they want because they're so used to being pampered by the freedoms that they have. Even to the point where saying we're not really free, even though you really seriously are. But hey, that's just my take on the subject. Seriously, get vaccinated. It's free, and it saves more lives than it takes. So, I love you guys. Y'all have a good one. Again, be safe. Deuces.